Good evening, I am the Elf Pirate, and this is the official video Q&A from patrons and from Discord. So, without further ado, let's get it started. First question is from Esme. How do you celebrate Halloween in Norway? That is a good question indeed. We didn't really celebrate Halloween until the late 90s and early 20s, and it started with a few costume parties. Now it's more like a novelty. We celebrate it for the heck of it, and people dress up and go to parties and get drunk. We don't really have the trick and treat as they do in the United States. I mean, some kids do it because we adopted the costumes. I would say like we celebrate it on a more like casual note. That's how I would describe it. So we celebrate Halloween casually in Norway. Next question is from Sylvia. You have been to Spain. I saw a photo in the Sagrada Familia. What differences caught your attention with respect to Norway? Well, while Norway is more of an aloof culture, where people naturally keep their distance. We did it before the Corona times. Spain seems to have a lot of physical contact involved, like the general hugging culture, and not sure I'm a big fan of that. But yeah, it's definitely in Spain. There's summer temperatures even in December. I was in Spain in December, and there was like 16, 17, 18, even 20 degrees. So it's hotter, definitely. People are more laid back in Spain. I think you have the siesta where everything is slow, and you can't book place in a restaurant between 4 and 8. Like, that is strange, because we usually eat at restaurants in those hours between 4 and 8. So those might be the main differences. Next question is from Lola. If you could work with any director or any other actor in the world, who would it be and why? Oh my god, I have to think about that one. If I could work with any director, well, Peter Jackson is an obvious, isn't it? Peter Jackson would be a director I would definitely work with in a heartbeat, for obvious reasons. Roland Emmerich, maybe? He's also a good director. Actors I would work with, I would love to work with Kate Blanchett. She's absolutely superbly talented. One of the greatest of all time. Tom Hanks. I would work with Tom Hanks. That would be great. Jack Black. Yeah. But why? Why Peter Jackson is obvious. Why Roland Emmerich is because I love his storylines. The way he uses like big epics, and I think his type of action is really fun to watch, and it would be fun to be an actor or a stuntman in one of his movies. And why I would choose the actors? Well, Tom Hanks, because he's the nicest guy in the world, according to everyone who's ever worked with him. Kate Blanchett, because she is Galadriel, and who wouldn't want to work with Galadriel, of course. And I'll get back to you on Jack Black, because it's also related to another question. Also gotta mention Ian McKellen, Liv Tyler, Miranda Otto, yeah, the whole cast of Lord of the Rings. What can I say? Next question is from Ven. What is your favorite kind of shark? My favorite kind of shark is the hammerhead shark. They look the coolest. Another question from Ven, but a serious question. If you could co-star with any actor or comedian, who would it be and for which story, if existing? It would be Jack Black, as I mentioned before. For which story? It would be cool to be in another Tenacious D movie, like to be one of the people Jack Black and Kyle Gass meets in their Tenacious D journey and be part of their crazy adventures. I would also mention Jim Carrey. To work with Jim Carrey would be absolutely legendary. I grew up with Jim Carrey's comedies, and Ace Ventura and Bruce Almighty and The Cable Guy, and all those are classics, and he is such a funny guy. Next question is from Toasted Meat. If you could travel to Middle-earth and befriend one person, who would it be and why? Galadriel, because Galadriel is the oldest living elf in Middle-earth and would have countless stories and endless wisdom, and she's an enigma of the whole Tolkien mythology, and undoubtedly one of the most important characters and one of the most powerful characters in Middle-earth. So Galadriel would be the one. Another question from Lola here. What kind of bear is best? Black bear. LT asks, if you could teleport one item and one item only from Middle-earth to our world, what item would that be? One item. That's gonna be hard. Maybe Anduril. Anduril. The original Anduril, wouldn't that be cool to have? I already have a replica, but wouldn't it be cool to have the actual Anduril? Okay, I'm saying Anduril. And we got another question from Lola here. Think of the last film you watched. Who was your favorite character in it? What was the last film I watched? The last film I watched was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. And in the Harry Potter franchise, I have many favorite characters, but of course, my all-time favorite in the Harry Potter franchise, both books and movies, is Hermione. So I guess Hermione is the answer. Sir Mion asks, what is your favorite detail in your ranger costume that you are very proud of? It's gotta be my armor, my ranger armor. Gonna get it. And here it is. This is canvas and leather armor with coal and pauldrons. So this is custom made for me. Pretty cool, huh? Another question from Lola. What's something people love that you hate? What is something most people love that I hate? Physical contact? Maybe? People? Another one from Toasted Meat. Is there a hobby that you wish you picked up when you were younger? Yes. The thing is, up until I was 14, I was quite good at sports. I was a talented left back in football, and I was a good sprinter and a good distance jumper. Because of a surgery I had in my hip bones when I was 14, I quit sports. And I did have like a promising start to it, and I kind of wish that I had done something about it. So, you know, I picked up instruments instead and became a singing nerd. Next question is from Elwood Fenris. If you had to stay in a cabin in a forest for a year, what's one thing you'd take with you? My acoustic guitar. I would have a lot of time to practice. So, definitely my acoustic guitar. And last question for this Q&A. This is Lola's. If there is one takeaway message from all Lord of the Rings, what do you think it is? Samwise Gamgee is the chief hero. That's it. So that was the Q&A session. Thank you for all the questions. I hope the answers were satisfactory. A special thanks to all my patrons. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you to my Discord community for all your undying support, to my streaming community. You are the absolute best. And this is the Elf Pirate, and I'll see you around.
I really hate humans. I really hate humans. I want to flee the planet 'cause they're always in my face. I really hate humans. I really hate humans. The whole world's out of place because of their disgrace. So fuck the human race. They chew with open mouths and have no courtesy. They're rude and inconsiderate.